Hello, friends and family, and welcome back to the 2023 Preserve Championship, powered by Prodigy. This coverage is brought to you by Ace Run Pro, and we are here in Clearwater, Minnesota. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event, and this is the final day. My name is Hailey Handley.
And I'm Connor O'Reilly, and we have a sweet chase card for you guys out here. This course has a great mix of open bomb shots, technical wooded gaps, and kind of open par threes that let you get aggressive. So excited to watch these players attack out here on the Black Bear course.
First up on the card, we have Holyn Handley. She has made quite a showing since entering the disc golf scene. Next up, we have Hailey King, the fresh haircut.
Third on the box, a legend in the game, Juliana Korver. Excited to watch her dice this course apart with her course management skills and approach prowess. And Missy Gannon rounding out our card. Highlight putter, really good course manager as well. Sweet backhand thrower.
Hole 1, let's run it. This is a par 4 coming in at 614 feet. The right side is safe. The left side, however, is out of bounds. Your first drive might be low and controlled, looking to keep it in bounds and safe, and that should give you about a 270 to 200 foot upshot into the green. Depending on how close you are, you could choose a fairway, mid, or putter to attack it, hopefully getting a birdie 3 to start out.
First up on the tee from Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
One thing that's been really interesting to me about hole 1 throughout the course of this weekend is during round 1, it played in the middle of the course difficulty-wise. Yesterday was the easiest hole in the course, and today, 4th hardest or easiest hole in the course, so I feel like it being the first hole kind of has an effect on that.
Hailey King.
And what I mean by that is players might just be a little more mentally tight, so a hole, you mix this in the middle of the course, I think the birdie rate will be a little more consistent, and the hole might play kind of more in the same spot all weekend.
Juliana Korver.
So impressive, Holly.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. Very aggressive off of the first.
And from Beacon, New York, make some noise for Missy Gannon.
Juliana Korver is in her 50s, y'all, and she's out here still smashing it. If that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will.
Missy with a low controlled shot. Everyone is safe in the fairway. Missy from about 260. Choosing a high spike hyzer. She told me the other day when I played with her, she doesn't mind just crashing into that canopy and dropping down.
We saw Merch go for that same play yesterday, and we've seen King play this wide forehand trying to filter on the backside of that pine tree. It kind of brings you right into that big bushy guy, though. I don't know that I love that shot from Hailey. I'd like to see her work on going with that new overstable backhand shot that she's been throwing well in the woods. What's that disc called again?
The con?
Yeah. Korver a little low. Looks like it squeezed just over the out of bounds. Not an ideal upshot though here on a pretty simple one.
And Holyn with a forehand chip. Looked a little short, but I didn't see any flags, so let's hope that's safe.
The Holyn was far enough up where the forehand makes a little more sense angle-wise.
Yes. Holyn doesn't connect for her birdie putt. A little right side. Juliana from 35.
Look at that flag, super dead. The conditions were so ideal today at times. There were times where there was literally zero wind.
I absolutely love playing the Preserve with no wind. Hailey King gave it a good run. Fortunately came up a bit short. Missy Gannon for birdie. Another strong start for Missy.
Yes,
I've played the Preserve several times where the wind has just been very intimidating. You know, you're choosing your beefiest bag you can find, beefiest disc you can find, and you're just stuffing the bag with a bunch of extras, several gators and firebirds and heaviest max weight things. And it's just such a pleasure to come out here and play with no wind, especially if you're a finesse player, you know, if you're a hyzer flipper or something like that.
Yeah, it gives the players a lot of freedom to do what they do best, score birdies. Missy Gannon grabs the only one here on hole 1. Hole 2 is going to be our first shorter gap shot of the course. Double mandatory here, but it's wide enough. It shouldn't really come into play for most of these players. These next couple trees we're about to fly up on, though, are the ones that commonly get hit if you miss your timing here. Play either a hyzer that flips up the flat or flat on a disc that has a touch of finish left here. Try to land it maybe 20 feet short and slide up. You want it to be close on this elevated basket, but first goal is to hit that gap.
I've seen a lot of players just clip that grouping of 3 trees on the left side. Missy missing that area, and she's down there looking at a birdie.
Yeah, you see players kind of get the nose up and lift up on their body, and that's when I think those trees really come into play. Keeping this one low and speedy is always good. Fortunate break for Holyn.
Yeah, she's right outside the circle.
She might not have went too far long, but she probably would have been at least 45, 50 if that just cleared through.
Look at that.
Threw it well and got a good break.
And that is the grouping of trees I see most commonly hit here on hole 2. Juliana looking to scramble for par. I had this exact same shot today.
Ooh, even tighter gap. I actually had that same gap round 2. That's funny.
And she is in the circle. Now we have Holyn Handley for a long birdie.
Yeah.
The flag saved her. That would have been an air ball. I mean, it could have been a 20-foot comeback.
Holyn gives away whether it's going in or not based off when if she slaps her thigh before. And so we kind of knew it out of her hand. Missy just glances off the left side chains. Needed to be a little more centered up there.
Good looking putt out of Juliana. That was a great scramble.
Yeah, that distance of putt on these elevated baskets can be tricky, especially early in the round, so it's a good one to get. Easy birdie for Hailey. Make sure to line it up and at least look at it before she goes. Holyn just got a little on top of that disc off the tee. Missed high on a long birdie putt. At least she committed.
Hailey King with the only birdie here on the second.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Go, Gotta Throw your disc golf warehouse. With a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, shirts, and more. GottaGoGottaThrow.com has all the tools to take your game to the next level. Shop online or our Golden Valley, Minnesota store. Free shipping with all online orders over $75. Online or in-store, get what you need for the game you love. GottaGoGottaThrow.com, your disc golf warehouse. In the game since 1993.
Welcome back to hole 3, par 3, 324 feet. This hole plays slightly uphill. It feels like you have to throw it about 335 to actually get it up to the tower. See a lot of players hyzer out left, leaving themselves a slight uphill putt. If you don't get a 2 here, it feels like you've really left one behind.
Got that right. Easiest hole on the course today by quite a bit. Almost half the field birdied.
Hailey King up first with a sidearm off the tee. Didn't expect to see that. She clips some branches on the way there, and she'll have a long look at birdie.
Yeah, interesting choice. But this one has enough width to play it both ways. Missy jumps up and tests that tower. That's a just outside bullseye look for birdie. Looks a little nosy for Holyn. But she throws a slower disc and it kind of just nestles perfectly. I thought that was going to have more speed coming in. She played kind of a rainbow shot.
Juliana looks to be inside the circle. Everyone has a birdie putt, but first up, Hailey King. She hit the center, but it was too low to go in. You can find some solace in that, at least, knowing that your aim was pretty good. Just need a little more height. Holyn slamming a birdie putt in.
Missy with the CTP.
And that's her second birdie of the round.
Another par for Juliana. Not the hot start she might want on this chase card, but still plenty of time to get some birdies on the card. Hole 4 is a hole with beautiful dichotomy. Big power shot off the tee. Gotta hold the disc from the left to the right. Whether it's a backhand turnover or some kind of roller. There's a couple options on this one. Either way, if you can get it to finish in front of these 3 trees we just flew past on the left there, and position yourself where you can attack this gap with a straight shot or maybe a touch of hyzer out of the hand, I think that's the easiest way to get into this tunnel and play the touchy birdie that is hole 4.
Missy Gannon up first.
Yeah, it's the most common miss you see is players just throwing it a little straight and long. Still has a chance to birdie from there though, just going to have to throw a higher speed disc.
It looks like it could.
This grass is so dry, Holly. A lot of times those type of shots will cut roll in
Thought
other
that
courses.
was going to cut roll, but it just scooted up to a great position.
I saw a number of shots this weekend that I expected to cut roll based off the angle, but this grass just lets you slide. It's really dry out here.
Hailey's almost to the sidewalk. I really love the height she put on that Anheuser. Juliana with a bit of a low shot, looking for a good placement.
Yeah, kind of matching Missy's spot just a little bit further towards the basket.
Missy with some good height control.
Hits the gap, money. That was a great shot by Missy. Keeps it in the tunnel the whole way out of her hand. Juliana stands up just too much and catches that right side. Looked like it might get lucky and filter through, but catches the last tree to beat.
What a good looking shot out of Holyn Handley.
Talk about it. She put that thing right on the koozie almost.
20-foot look at birdie. Hailey King with the longest drive of the group.
Oh, I thought that was another dime shot, but also stands it up barely too much like Juliana. Tough reaction, but should be a maybe soft pitch run from Hailey. See how she's feeling. I don't think she's really wanted to lay up too often from this close. Definitely had the stuff to bid it, just needed more hyzer out of the hand.
She got another lucky tree kick. Kept her really close to the basket. And this is Missy Gannon for a birdie 3. Aww.
Strong off the top there. This basket is probably the lowest one into the ground on the entire track, so honestly, if that's another hole throughout this course, Missy might have made that.
Holyn Handley took a 3, and that is one of only 3 threes today here on hole 4.
Yeah, this hole is such a good birdie to get. I really enjoy the design of this one. A hole like that doesn't need out of bounds, Holly.
The tee shot, it's so fun to throw. Let's look at this new hole, number 5, 275 foot, par 3, nice tunnel wooded shot. The right-handed player is just going to send whatever disc works best for you. Hopefully a little hyzer right at this corner tree. That'll get you inside the circle and give you a birdie putt. The pure line or ace line here would be a little flex forehand, but I have yet to see anyone pull that off in the FPO division. I'd love to see some of that right now. Holyn Handley up first. Nice hyzer control, and she has just played that to perfection.
Yeah, finishes about 1.5 feet in front of that tree you mentioned and slides up.
Man, that was smooth. Missy Gannon with a very similar shot, but faster disc, and she has a long look at birdie as well on the edge of the woods.
Yeah, most players content to finish somewhere circle's edge left here.
I'm disappointed. I really wanted to see Hailey throw a forehand, but looks like she's going for that con.
Ooh, and she squeezes past the right side into the bullseye. That is you see some players get fortunate through that little gap there, and it's one that definitely doesn't feel like you quite deserve it, but who's saying no to a tap-in birdie?
Juliana kicked to the left side, going with a little chip forehand. Very well done. Missy Gannon for birdie. Oh.
Just a few inches too wide right.
Ooh, that's 2 in a row for Holyn Handley. And her 3rd birdie of the round. Oh, that's 3 in a row. A turkey for Holyn. Wow.
Yeah, scoring on hole 4 and then also picking up the technical 5. She's been throwing some good shots. Some power shots, touch shots.
Juliana is on a par fest here. Par is not bad. But you gotta sprinkle some birdies in there.
Tweet, tweet. Hole 6. This is a very technical par 5. Just under 700 feet. This is going to be one of the more rewarding birdies to get on the course, and a hole that if you mess up these first 2 shots can really be difficult. Land your drive somewhere around here to give yourself a easy look at par, maybe a long look at birdie, but if you can get in front of that little turf tee pad we just played or right around that, you're going to have a great position to play a straight shot down this narrow tunnel. Thin line of trees on each side, and you do not want to take a kick. Oh no.
Holyn's moving left, and she is in a really tough area. It's going to be a pitch out from there.
Early left on this hole is one of the scariest spots on the course for sure.
This is a solid looking shot out of Hailey. She's landed on the dirt road in a perfect position.
Yeah, keeps it nice and low, gets that touch of hyzer out of the hand, trusts it to drift to the right. Well thrown. I think you definitely want to keep this one low for the most part. If you get your disc above 10, 12 feet, it's kind of hard to get it to shape to the right the way you need.
Missy Gannon's made it past the corner in that little left hyzer landing zone. Juliana, look at this. Look at this. Man.
That was very fortunate. She missed right of the gap that she was aiming for, but...
That's why I love a catch cam view.
Yeah, it definitely helps show you some things that don't always appear to the eye from a different angle.
And Holyn from Narnia
had a gap. That was a good pitch out.
She can still get par from here. She just needs to chip it to that tee pad or a little bit inside the opening and give herself an upshot. Oh, that could be tough.
This one's so touchy. It's really only about 10 feet across, so not a lot of landing zone. Missy attacking into the tunnel. Finishes on the left side, but kicks down in a spot where she can lean out and maybe throw forehand. Might be close enough to work a long putt even.
Juliana not going for anything aggressive, just choosing a nice placement shot. Just as you mentioned in her introduction, she's got great course management skills.
Hailey playing a hyzer to stand-up shot. Looks like she tests that left side. If you're not looking down the tunnel of this hole, all of a sudden that gap just really shrinks on you.
And Holyn's not actually in a bad position. It looked bad when it first landed, but she's able to stretch out and pitch it up inside the circle.
Juliana dropping the left leg back to open up a little bit of airspace. Playing a polecat? Do you know what that was, Holly?
Yeah, she does use the polecat.
Looked like it. Squared off edge. Hailey going back to that forehand. Gets a little filter through the side. And Missy has to lean out and go forehand putter. Looks like a run.
Beautiful.
Playing catch with the basket. Wow.
Holyn almost able to scramble for par.
Juliana rocks back, but doesn't quite get enough into that one.
She didn't like the looks of that right out of her hand.
Would have been really good birdie to pick up.
Holyn takes a bogey here on the 6th, ending her birdie streak.
Missy grabbing one of only 5 birdies on the day, and Kristen Tatar grabbing that Eagle 3.
The only one all weekend. Let's take a look at hole 7, a par 3, 330 feet. There's a couple different ways you can play this hole. I prefer just a flat shot sent to the right corner pocket, let it move slowly left. You can even just punch a straight shot right at the basket and land in this dirt mound. I'd say the trouble is just overthrowing it, maybe sawing off your shot to the left or pulling it into the woods on the right, having to scramble for par. We don't have a lot of wind today. Makes this hole fairly easy.
Yeah, it's kind of a decision whether you want to ace run it or play a disc that's just going to wind up sliding up to the basket on this one. Hailey playing the ace run disc a little low and catches that mound back there. Well played. Missy taking a deep breath.
Missy's always seen completing her breathing routine prior to shot making. She's very consistent with that. And she's up there putting for a birdie.
Really
Juliana
helps.
with a turn.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get the turn on that one, Holly. Yeah, breathing really can help calm those nerves and help you manage, because everyone's going to feel them from time to time. Holyn going back to that same buzz she's been throwing, but misses her nose and wing angle narrowly. Looks like she was trying to give that one a floaty bid.
I agree. Juliana pitches it up. She'll play for par. Let's see if Missy can weave a birdie putt through this tight gap. What a shot. Come on.
Wow, what a tiny window that was.
Man, I wanted that for her. I love those kinds of putts. When you walk up and you see it just shaped up for you.
Very satisfying when you hit them. They can create a lot of tension in your arm swing, and a lot of times you're just focused on getting the disc through and you don't get the power on it.
Hailey King had to do a bit of a creative stretch out. Gave it a loft, but unable to connect for birdie.
And that is the risk with ace running this one. You do have to deal a lot of times with some obstructed putting if you don't get fortunate off that mound or off the tree hit. It's a horse with it's a hole. A horse.
A horse?
I said a course, a hole. It is a hole. A good score separation. I think it's a...
It's a horse separation.
Bear with me, y'all.
It's been a long weekend out in the sun.
Hole 8. Talking of long, this one is a par 5 at just under 1,000 feet. Bomb your first one out there, somewhere near Kristen Tatar there. And on the second shot, if you can get yourself to the left, you're going to really open up the angle on this one. The more right you are, the more this big tree you guys see here on the right is going to affect your approach into this sloped green. There is a sand trap short that'll give you some tough footing if you come up circle's edge short, and a kind of drainage pipe on the left that if you go over, the putting is almost impossible.
Hailey King looks like she was disgusted with that shot out of her hand. I don't know if she expected more distance or didn't want to pull it that far right, but I say that looked like a great shot to me. It was a little low, but I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
She probably thought it was going to keep drifting right and pull into that thistle, but ended up finishing nicely for her.
You'll see players favor the right side more because you do have that left side out of bounds that starts right at the tall grass.
And with how dry it is out here, if you land anywhere on the left third of this fairway, you're very likely to skip out of bounds. Just a gentle right to left slope here that doesn't really show to the eye a lot of times.
Everyone had a nice low controlled shot. They're safe in the fairway. Juliana up first, throwing her turn. Another low controlled shot. I saw that spotter there all weekend. Appreciate him hanging out in the sun.
Yeah, we had plenty of spotters this weekend, and that's always appreciated, especially in these long, thick grass patches for finding your disc and marking the spots. Holyn going big on the second. Finds herself well off to the left. She'll have forehand or backhand option from there.
Hailey King with the longest drive of the group.
Yeah, she's just throwing it right at that big tree, trying to finish a little in front of it.
Holyn and Hailey both in really good positions to attack for a birdie 4. Juliana up first.
Gonna have to really hold this one to the right. Looks to be playing a pretty conservative shot though, not really trying to reach on that one. Setting herself up for par.
Yeah, you know, and with the background and that basket, you could really give that one an aggressive run. If you're into that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, this one's kind of asking for you to try to drop one in.
Ooh, what good angle control from Missy. Snuck it right around that bush, and she's up there about 50 feet.
Yeah, it looked to be almost to the circle's edge, but pretty uphill.
Missy has really improved her turnover game in the last year.
Hailey jumps over the lip of that bunker. Might be tricky footing on that putt.
Look at this.
Holyn just pure spike hyzer forehand. You don't see that
out
of a lot of FPO players.
You don't. That's why I said, look at this. Yeah, Holyn's just got next level everything, really. Missy Gannon for a long look at birdie.
A lot of FPO players have that flat forehand or the hyzer middle height forehand, but
or the one where you chop it down, the flex.
Yeah, the flex, yeah, but
that's the one I like.
The high pure spike,
that's really hard. I'm actually trying to learn that right now.
Yeah, takes some power, but also can be a useful tool in certain situations.
Oh no, please don't do it. Now that's not too bad. Hailey can clean that up.
Yeah, this one plays well up the hill.
That was her birdie putt, though, so that kind of stinks.
Her head from here is probably equal distance with the bottom of the pole in the ground there. Or like where the pole hits the ground there. The bottom of the koozie, so.
Hailey walks away with a par as well as Juliana. And Juliana still on that par fest. Look at that.
Good comeback for Hailey. Her mistakes have been pars today and chipping together a decent round so far.
After a little hike up the hill, Holyn will take a par as well.
Yeah, 8 feels like a birdie you really need to get if you want to shoot a hot round.
It's a tough one.
It is, but I think you throw your first 2 shots long enough. That's where it's a little simple.
Introducing the F9, Prodigy's most understable fairway driver. The F9 is designed for beginners and lower arm speeds to get maximum distance, full flex flights, and effortless hyzer flips. The F9, coming soon to ProdigyDisc.com.
Welcome back to the ace hole. In case you missed some coverage, Cat Merch actually aced this hole earlier in the week. Hole 9, a par 3, 297 feet. Your tee shot's got to go over this water. And if you land behind the sidewalk, between the sidewalk and the water, it's actually out of bounds. So you need to land past the sidewalk. If you land out of bounds off the tee, then you proceed to the drop zone. You've really got to follow through with this shot. Make sure you push it far enough so it doesn't hyzer and go OB over the sidewalk. Looks like Hailey King threw the con again.
Yeah, test that sidewalk, just a little too much hyzer out of the hand. But sitting on the edge of the circle with the backstop behind the basket. Full sends. Speaking of full sends, Missy Gannon.
Ooh.
Almost tapping the pole for y'all. Juliana playing kind of a hyzer flip, a little bit of a safer disc choice, trying to eliminate that left side miss. But I'm gonna have a low ceiling putt because of it.
I've noticed that Holyn kind of noses, every time she throws that disc, it's a little nose up. You know, I don't know if she's going for that sort of nose up hyzer shot or if she's just...
I think it's just her kind of worrying about turning on it and getting flat on it, so maybe just coming out just a little bit early or a little bit stood up on.
She gave it a good birdie run. Juliana from the knee, a proposal birdie. I love that.
Well done. I had to make that same putt earlier in the week, and
did you make it?
I did.
Nice.
Got to focus up on that one though. I tried to pretend I was Gannon Burr. He's good on the knee.
Hailey King, she gets a birdie to drop. That was Juliana's first birdie of the round, and Hailey King's fourth.
Juliana picking up that birdie on the second easiest hole in the course. She's been playing real safe today, still in a spot where she is in the cash, so
Missy
chipping
Gannon,
some birdies.
Yeah. Holyn takes a par, and Missy with her fourth birdie of the round. Everyone's got some green on the scorecard.
Only one bogey on the card for the front nine out here at the Preserve Championship. Ideal scoring conditions.
Look at this tie at the top. Kristen Tatar has caught up with Katrina Allen. Right now, Hailey King holding on to the third spot, tied with Ella Hansen, and Holyn Handley slowly climbing up the leaderboard. She is really close to those leaders and could make a run for the podium. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this final day coverage of the 2023 Preserve Championship. If you'd like to purchase some tickets and come spectate us, me and Connor and all these other players that you've come to know and love, you can buy them on the Disc Golf Pro Tour website. We'd really love to see you out there. We'd love to sign your discs. We also sign faces as well. And I've heard that Ricky signs babies.
You name it, we'll sign it. You just gotta present it to us. At the proper time, of course.